We've been having interns in our community for quite a while, and one of the stellar ones who's got an amazing story to tell is Abhishek. He came onto our radar about a year and a half ago, I want to say, and been interacting with him since then, and amazing to see the work he's doing now. So Abhishek, really quickly, just let folks know who you are and how you found out about DoK.
Hi, everyone. I'm Abhishek. I call myself a geeky ambivert and a workaholic person who thinks sarcasm is seriously important. Just like Bart, he also thinks that sarcasm is seriously important. And I came into the radar of data on Kubernetes community when I was just starting out with learning Kubernetes and the cloud native ecosystem. I used to see a lot of folks being really active in the community, and there were the initial interns, Kevalia, Karuna, and Ashwin. I'm sorry, not Ashwin.
Don't worry, Vanchika and Kunal. Yeah, there's so many people to remember. It's all good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they were super helpful people, and I used to be like, okay, I'm getting so much help from this community. Then why not coming and to this community and giving back in all the way I can? So yeah, that's how I came into the DoK community radar, and I am pretty much all about deep core technology, geeky kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you jumped right in. I think it's a very good lesson to all the folks that are out there that are kind of worried or feeling overwhelmed. Is like, hey, what's the best way to start? Just do it. Just get involved. So can you tell us now about the kind of stuff you're working on now?
Yeah, I've been working in the cloud native ecosystem ever since I started. Previously, I worked at Nirmata as a software engineering intern, where I did a lot of cloud native wizardry. And now I'm working at API 7. We are working on in the open source project called API 6. That is a cloud native API gateway. And ever since I started learning about tech, doing coding, I understood that I'm all about the places in tech where there is very high incentive for optimization and high performance and very tweaking very much close to operating system and hardware. So I'm doing that kind of work, and I'm very grateful for that. And I also feel very happy that I'm getting to work on this kind of technology and so many cool people around me.
That's great. And yeah, API 6 is an amazing technology, quite advanced. But once again, with your spirit of I just jump right in, I start consuming resources, I ask questions, interact. With that in mind, what have been some of your, biggest learnings and, tips that you might give to other folks that are in a similar situation that you were in, let's say, a year and a half, 2 years ago?
I think my biggest learning would be the ability and the mindset of figuring out always. Because there are a lot of ways or a lot of roadmaps. Everyone has a different story. Everyone has different resources and the environment they are in. So one story might not be applicable for others. And someone has made it in XYZ way that might not work for someone else. So there's a saying that says that there's no silver bullet. So understanding this and constantly working, being consistent, that's very important, and constantly figuring out what works for you, how you can go ahead and how you can implement things on your own, and finding what works for you in the best way. That's been very helpful for me, and I think this will work for everyone. Although I just said that there's no silver bullet, but this is the silver bullet that should work.
That's great. I think it's a wonderful reflection because it's true. And I find myself having that conversation a lot is like, as much as there are different strategies and, we can make it as complex as we want, at the end of the day, being able to go out there and look for information, the amount of times I find myself sending a screenshot of a question that somebody asked me, of putting that in Google, is like I'm happy to help you, but you also need to know how to help yourself. There's no better help than self-help. Of course, you want to involve communities in your strategy and your process. And of course, you want to be able to interact with others. But there is a very important component of going out and getting access to all the resources. There's tons of blogs, there's documentation, there are videos. There are lots of different places where you can check things out. Do yourself the favor of figuring out what you're interested in, figuring out how you can take that a little bit further. And then that's when you're going to reap the benefits of being involved in communities where you can get more detailed questions answered, better responses to those kind of issues. So I think that's fantastic advice, that there is no silver bullet, but there is at the same time. And it's called putting in the time. Yeah, putting in the time and sharing and sharing your progress. Is there anything that's kind of on your mind right now? Any sort of events that you're checking out? Anything that you're learning that you wanna share with folks so they can take a look as well?
Yeah, definitely. If you are into cloud native and if you are into deep technology where there is a lot of incentive for making optimizations and making sure your code runs well and it does not break any other part, then you are highly welcome at API 6. This is a very cool open source project, and folks that are working in API 6 are the brightest of the brains that I have seen. And come and experience yourself. That's what I can say, because this is just mind blowing.
That's great. And like you said, you have to sort of live it to really know what it's like.
Yep.
And like I said, with the talk that we had with someone from API 6 last year, was the thing is we've done over 200 live streams, and so the one that we do with API 6 is like, okay, this there's normally a high level and this one's going really high. So I definitely echo your message there. Abhishek, thank you so much for your time. I'll look forward to interacting with you, whether it's in KubeCon or anything else going on the CNCF. And folks, definitely check out API 6 if you want to get into the deeper side. And remember Abhishek's advice. Take the time to give yourself time to go investigate things, do your research, do your homework, consume resources, and that's really going to be an important part of your journey. All right. Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you soon. Yes. Love it.